Are you having fun, Nigel? That's a 360 turn, and Nigel, are you still with us? Don't worry, Nigel. It'll all be over soon. So, how was that? Nigel? Nigel? The Evo. It's a family saloon that turns quicker than a politician, with enough room in the boot for a set of golf clubs. But it's not our #1 ultimate road rally car. Why?
When you put your foot on the gas, there's hesitation, nothing, and all of a sudden, a whole bunch of horsepower is chucked at you. And from just a road driver, I think they have to be a bit careful, even though they have four-wheel drive system. All of a sudden, there's this rush of 280 horsepower, and they have to be careful they don't drive off the road.
And with such an amazing price, you can bet that turbo lag is in the hands of quite a few inexperienced drivers. Plus, and let's not kid ourselves about this, the Evo is quite possibly one of the dullest and cheapest looking cars ever made, and there really is no excuse for that. Still to come on Ultimate Cars, the beautiful one. And we reveal the #1 Ultimate Road Rally car. Welcome back to Ultimate Cars, where the world's leading car minds count down the greatest cars of all time. On this show, we're looking at Ultimate Road Rally cars. Number 5 on our list was the Ford RS200. Number 4, the Mitsubishi Evo. Still to come, the #1 Ultimate Road Rally car. Back to the countdown now, and in at number 3, more mind-warping performance. It's got gold wheels. It's the Subaru Impreza.
They don't shout about the performance. They keep it under their hat.
It became popular before it came to America in video games. Every kid in Nebraska, in the heartland, thousands of miles from the closest rally, knows exactly what an Impreza was.
Hey you, Grandad with a Ferrari. Get with the times, man. This is your wake-up call. We don't want your overpriced, impossible to maintain toys anymore. There's a new kid on the block, and this is it, the Subaru Impreza. It's fast, it's cheap, and it's got gold wheels.
I think everyone that I know aspires to having a blue one with gold wheels and having a bit of fun with it.
There was a time when cars were mechanical. You turn the wheel, push the pedals, and the cars would move forward. But in the late 80s, engineers at Subaru started to play with the laws of mechanics, and like some crazed Dr. Moreau, they started putting computers inside of the cars, until finally, in 1992, they created the Impreza, the car that could think for itself. All right, don't panic. It sounds a lot worse than it is. Somewhere inside this car is a computer. Now, imagine, if you will, you're in the Impreza in a rally and you hit a patch of gravel. 3 wheels are on the loose shingle, 1 is on some tarmac. That 1 wheel has more traction than the 3 on the shingle, so the computer-active diffs sense this and send all the car's power to that wheel, which makes the car go faster. Brilliant! But in Japan, no, not China, the car's remarkable performance still isn't enough. On the streets of Tokyo and Nagasaki, modern-day hot rodders are pumping nitrous oxide into the Impreza's engine to achieve some terrifying results.
この車はですね、310キロまでで出したのが
With this car, up to 310 km per hour. That was on a closed, straight, public road, half wet, not on a racing track.
310キロまでこの車です。多分ドライで
In good, dry conditions, I think over 200 miles per hour is possible.
192 miles per hour on a public road, you crazy fools. And before you rush off to pump your car full of nitrous oxide, it's worth bearing in mind that all these modifications don't come cheap. In Japan, it's not uncommon for people to take out loans and spend up to 50% of their income on car modifications. Try explaining that to your bank manager. The Subaru Impreza. It's a technical marvel and as adaptable as Lego, but it's not our #1 ultimate road rally car. Why? Well, strictly on the QT, the car has a bit of a thirst, if you know what I mean. An average 4-seater car will do an average of 44 miles to the gallon. The Subaru will do 18 miles to the gallon. And that's a conservative estimate, because any car that's this much fun is never going to be driven with fuel economy in mind. And if that wasn't bad enough,
Its weak points to me were those high-sided bucket seats that I had to sit in one bun at a time. Oh boy, give you blood clots.
Next, in at number 2, a car so radical in design that the only thing it shared with rally cars before it were round wheels. It's Italian, it's gorgeous, it's the Lancia Stratos.
That was the beautiful rally car.
You'd never believe that such an exotic form could be a rally car flinging itself around in the mud and the dirt.
It's a no-compromise vehicle. You know, it was a car that was developed particularly to win the World Championship.
The Lancia Stratos. There was never a car like it before, and for many, there's never been one like it since. It is without a doubt the best-looking rally car of all time.
If you look at the modern equivalents, the Subaru Imprezas of this world and the other cars that are out there, those guys still stop and look at the Stratos, and you won't find too many Stratos owners stopping and looking at their Subaru.
But it's no surprise that the car gets this kind of reaction. It is, after all, designed by the same company that created the Miura.
Lancia looked at their product range and decided what they needed to do was make a completely different car because they'd got nothing that could be successful. So they engineered and built a limited production run of really specialist cars. And what's really unusual about it in design terms is it's very short in the wheelbase because it was made to turn corners, to change direction very quickly. It has this amazing wrapped screen on it. You know, that's really to try and give as much visibility as possible. And I think, for me, it's still one of the most beautiful cars on the road.
But the Stratos isn't just a beauty queen in a field of sows. The Stratos, and this is very, very important, is the first purpose-built rally car in the world. The car may look stunning, but everything about its design had one purpose: win rallies. So how do you make a purpose-built rally car? Well, if you're part of the Fiat empire, it's easy. You go to the shop floor and you start putting together a smorgasbord of car parts. The lights, handles and hinges were from the Fiat bins. And the engine? Well, that was a 7,800 RPM V6 Ferrari engine. Ferrari were now part of the Fiat empire, and the gorgeous Dino was about to be phased out, which meant that there were a couple of engines knocking around. So Lancia stuck them inside the Stratos, right here, behind the driver. Now, mid-mountain engines had been around for years, and the application to rallying provided an unprecedented centre of gravity and fantastic traction, which is why the car won the World Rally Championships 3 years in a row.
The Lancia Stratos is a bit like a thoroughbred racehorse, and it'll do anything you can do better. It's the weak link really is the driver.
But remember, this is a road rally car, which meant you could buy the Stratos for driving on the public roads, which is not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Reversing the car is quite difficult. There's very limited vision out through the rear window and the rear louvers. You can see very little out through the wing mirrors, and it's so easy to get the front of the car through a gap, but you've got so much car sticking out behind with the arches and the wheels. So you have to be concentrating the whole of the time.
So what is the #1 ultimate road rally car? Well, before we reveal the answer, let's look back at those that didn't get the top spot. Number 5 was the RS200, 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds, and an engine that could last only 10 hours. Number 4 was the Evo, amazing performance at an amazing price, but ooh, that turbo lag. Number 3, the Subaru Impreza, computer-enhanced traction, gold wheels, and an unquenchable thirst. Number 2, the Lancia Stratos, the best-looking rally car ever. It revolutionised the rulebook until car number 1 appeared on the horizon. It changed rallying and road driving forever. It's German, it's brutish, it's the Audi Quattro. In the world of rally, there is before Quattro and after Quattro. It's that simple. It is the MC squared of motorsports. The idea of having four-wheel drive hit the World Rally Circuit in 1981, and suddenly everything that had been made before it became obsolete overnight. Nuclear bomb.
It's like the first building that was built 20 stories high when no one else had ever figured out how to build one that was more than 2 stories high.
And the concept is so simple. You take this kind of four-wheel off-roading technology and you put it in a saloon car. That way, all four wheels are powered by the engine, which gives the car more traction, which means it can take corners faster, which means it can get around the track